Perky Planes and RC here, operating at 2.4 gigahertz, and I've got this to start my day. Well, not to derail current events that's going on with the channel, I came across something that just kind of caught my attention and felt the need to kind of discuss it a little bit. I was getting some new labels for my RC planes, and the labels you got to put on there that has like your number, your phone number, your name, different identifications. In case my plane gets lost or stolen or something like that. And the thing I came across was my FAA number, and I did just a little bit of looking there, and come to find out, as of January 19th, it had been 1 year since I had registered with the FAA. And of course, this brought back a whole bunch of old emotions and things around that time. Now, just to kind of give a little bit of a background here, anything with, basically up until about a year or so ago, the only thing I ever heard to be a member of or to join or look into for flying my RC planes was the AMA, which is the Academy of Model Aeronautics, and they've been basically been around for, since the 1930s. So, they've been around a very, very long time. And they've established, like their own little set of rules with the community that, you're not going to fly above a certain altitude, going to not fly directly over people. And they offer some insurance as well in case of accidents or things like that. And, they also, as a little additional perk, if you want to call it that, they give you a subscription to Model Aviation Magazine, which is kind of nice if you're, need some reading material while you're sitting on the john. So that was the only thing that I really ever heard of, to be a member of, up until about a year and a half ago or so. And, basically, what had happened around that time is, we'll just call it the drone craze. And in fact, drones are still pretty popular now. But it seems like, a year and a half ago, people were just, going crazy over these, quadcopters or drones. And getting them for their kids, for themselves. It just seemed like a lot of people were getting really involved in the hobby with these things. And, I think it's great that we get more people into the hobby. I really do. I love letting the community grow and, having fun from it and memories and things like that. So it's an absolute wonderful thing that people were getting into the hobby. But the problem that was going on is that, people were not exercising common sense with these things and, crashing them into, or crashing around people. There were reports of them, crashing into or, flying around airports, flying them over sporting events, just a bunch of stuff like that. And, part of it could be true. I think also the media sort of blew things way out of proportion too. I need to get that cough checked out. But yeah, they blew things way out of proportion too, and basically painted this picture that the drones and quadcopters were evil devices, and all this negativity surrounding the whole thing. And it really kind of looks scary there for a moment with the hobby and with the future and everything like that, what's going to happen, and with the drone craze, I think what had happened is, I don't recall very much of the drone documentation even talking anything about the AMA and the rules, that it set forth if you become a member and, things like that. And so these people are just really flying them with no rules and no general common sense, and just flying these things anywhere. And then, coupled with the fact too that you have these drones that are basically, they almost fly themselves, very stable, altitude hold, and they can go, some of them can go, great distances, we're talking miles, in the air and stuff. So, you've got all these factors, a part of this, no little information about, or very little information about the, about some, basic rules and regulations on them. The fact that they're easy to use, And of course, coupled with and then the fact too that just everybody wants them and has no experience, or knowledge or practice even flying anything that is an RC aircraft. So all these things, just really kind of, were a bad mix. And like I said, of course, the media, of course, painted a very negative picture about the whole thing. So, and it really kind of hurt and surprised me too, I guess, a little bit, that the FAA decided to step in and basically put their foot down on controlling the drone, this drone problem, so to speak. And, it really kind of threw me for a curveball there, as far as, what the future of the hobby was going to be like. I know some thought it was the end of the world. Some longtime RC guys thought it was the end of the world whenever the FAA stepped in and started, putting some regulations and things on those that fly RC aircraft. So, it was a really a scary time there. And I think things have calmed down a little bit with it too. But, it's just, it's one of those things, like I said, it was a very scary time and, kind of confusing as well. I mean, I think they're still hammering out some of the rules and things. But, that's kind of what brought this whole thing to life. And I would love to hear what your thoughts and comments on it are. Okay, now as far as my thoughts on the issue, I don't care much about the whole idea about the FAA stepping in, but I'm a good U.S. citizen. I do my part, so I'll throw a few bucks to the FAA if it, can guarantee they'll kind of be off my back and let me enjoy my, flying my RC planes and stuff. So don't care too much about it, but I just want to kind of be done with it and not have to worry about it. So like I said, I paid the $5. That is one good thing. That is one surprising thing about the FAA is that, you pay the fee and it covers you for 3 years. So hopefully they won't jack up the fees, and hopefully that coverage will still continue. That's pretty reasonable. But we will see. But anyways, like I said, I don't really care about the whole idea of the FAA stepping in. But, oh well, I'll do it and be done with it for now. I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts on the FAA AMA, fiasco, and to see what you all think about that. I've read some things from other RC modelers who thought it was the end of the world. Like I said, that the FAA was stepping in. I've talked to other guys that are just basically just like me, and they're just like, whatever, we'll do it, just be done with it, leave me alone, that kind of attitude. And there probably are some that are just completely feel like it's a beneficial thing to be part of the FAA, and it's a great thing to do this, even though the AMA had been there much longer. And the AMA, of course, established the same rules, basically, that the FAA is doing. So, I don't know. And I've even wondered, too, I'll kind of throw this out there, too, and see what you guys think. I've often wondered, too, if, this is the start of the demise of the AMA. I truly hope not, just because the AMA has been around for so long. But it does kind of make you wonder if that could possibly happen in the future. Like I said, I truly hope it doesn't, but, we will see. So anyways, leave me some comments and things below, on this particular issue. If you're an RC guy that's had to register with the FAA, or if you're part of the AMA and the FAA, leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on it. I do want to thank you guys for watching. Before I actually fully end the video, let me just say one thing. To any hobbyists out there, old and new, I strongly, especially the new, by the way, I strongly encourage you guys just to really kind of use your common sense when flying. Don't fly near people. Don't fly near, stadiums, sporting events, things like that. Definitely don't fly near airports, unless, of course, you have clearance and have confirmed with the airport that you can. try to stay away from heavily populated areas. Just be careful. So that we can avoid these kind of accidents and keep the hobby going. So, please be safe out there. All right, well, that's all I've got. I do want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.